Welcome back to another edition of the NYLA Podcast. Today we'll have three special guests with us. The first will be Chad Harris. He'll be giving us an excerpt concerning prayer and engaging our students in more effective prayer ministry. Then we'll have with us Jason Smith, who is at Miami, Florida, and he'll be talking about event planning, maybe some creative ideas you can do with some of the events that you're planning this coming year. And then we'll finish off the video with Clark Campbell, who'll be trying to reconnect our ideas of the social networking, become more effective in relationships. Hope you enjoy today's podcast.
Hi, my name's Chad Harris. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm a youth pastor at a church called The Crossing. And if there was one piece of advice I guess I could offer for youth leaders today, it would be the necessity of teaching the students in their youth ministry how to pray and how to touch God. In Luke chapter 11, the disciples came to Jesus and they said, "Will you teach us to pray just like John taught his disciples to pray?" And I think it's really important that as youth pastors we teach, our students to be able, when they get in a situation, to call out on God and receive answers from heaven. And I think that's one of the biggest things we lack in a lot of ways. And I think one of the greatest ways to do that actually is to start a youth prayer meeting once a week, maybe for about an hour with your students. You just come together and you spend time with them in prayer and you pray about things and you call out on God. And it's one of the to me, it's one of the greatest team-building exercises you could do, because I believe it brings unity to the team, because nothing strengthens the team when you've been praying and asking God for something, and then you see that happen, and, their eyes light up and they say, we've been praying about that. We've been asking God for that, and they see that happen. And the truth is we only have a few years with these students, and then they're going to be gone forever. And the tools that we give them now are what they're going to be able to use then, and they're going to have to know how to pray and have to call out on God. That's the number one tool, I believe. And so if there was just one advice I could give youth leaders, it would be teach your students to pray and to pray with them, spend time with them in prayer, and let them see your hunger and your desperation for God, and it will be contagious for them. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Jason Smith, youth pastor at Cooper City Church of God. Just want to talk to you just for a few moments about some event planning that you can do. Recently we did a production called Bible on Broadway, where we took Bible stories and set them to Broadway tunes. Pretty easy to do. You just rewrite some of the Broadway tunes and then throw some kids in there to make it work. We had, the first year we did about 150 people showed up. Last year, or just a few months ago, we did it again, had over 1,000 people show up to our Bible on Broadway production. We used very few volunteers, and we actually used very few props because everybody wants to come out and see their kid perform. So that's kind of the process. Now, it's going to take some work getting your volunteers to rewrite some songs. We used The Lion King, we used Aladdin, a lot of things like that to make it work. So you can do that. You can charge, you can not charge to get in the event. We didn't charge anything, took up an offering, made about, I think it was about $3,000 or $4,000 on the deal, so it's a pretty good fundraiser for you as well if you're trying to raise funds. It doesn't cost you anything if you've got old robes and things like that from past productions. You can pour right into that and give that to your youth ministry. Also, if you've got, you can use lighting and big sound. You don't have to have any of those things. If you've got a boom box, that works great. Just put in some soundtracks and you're good. iTunes sells all that stuff. So very little cost, and it's nothing but profit for you, and it gets a lot of kids energized. Also, if you're looking for a way to get other kids from outside your group plugged in, this is a way to do it. They're familiar with the tunes already, so they already kind of know how it's supposed to look and what it's supposed to sound like. So you're not really recreating anything that's new. It's just taking old clips and putting them into a new format. So I hope that helps. God bless you and enjoy.
I'm Clark Campbell, the youth and college pastor at North Cleveland Church of God here in Cleveland, Tennessee. Just want to encourage you youth leaders to take seriously the amount of relationship hours your students need, one-on-one, maybe not with you, but maybe with another leader, maybe with a coach or a mentor. I think it's Leonard Sweet that's talked recently about the importance of relationships when it comes to especially student ministries. And social networking has caused us to really, really lean hard on the non-one-on-one side of relationship and lean on just, I can just barely touch somebody, barely be part of their life through a distance, through the internet, through a computer. And Leonard Sweet says that in the very near future, there's going to be a backlash against that. And people are going to want that one-on-one interaction with whether it's a student or a parent or a youth pastor or a youth leader. I would encourage you, if you don't have a system built in your youth group, go ahead and begin to, maybe over the next 6 months, build a system that would support the future of where relationships are going to be, especially in the church. What if we, the church, were ahead of the culture curve? What if we, the church, were ready for these relationships to come back to this face-to-face? I need community. I need people to be around instead of following culture. What if you, the youth pastor, right now in 2010, developed the system that prepared your youth group for next year or the year after to face what some of our students are going to face? And we know the mess that many of the high schools are in, and the students, they see what they feel. And some of them are already longing for that. If they're not in your youth group, they will be soon. So think of ways, pray about ways, ask God to open doors on how you can engage them relationally, build the systems, take what God has given you, and do the work, the hard work for the life of your student down the road.